The state doesn't have the power to derail something that's, a nationwide election. So basically, that very simple question has led to this decision, and then that decision is the decision being 9-0, right, unanimous, that the state Supreme Court in Colorado was wrong.
And Evan, just to put it in simpler terms too, and maybe I'm wrong on this, so correct me. I think it's easy for people to understand that if it would have been something like he was running for state governor, then it would have been different, right? Because then the state Supreme Court would probably have a little more clout.
Correct. In fact, the ruling does discuss that there's plenty of leeway for a state high court to rule as per the legislation in that state about eligibility for statewide candidates for statewide office, which would either be for a governor, for a state legislature position, or whatever the case may be. But for federal would be different, and for the office of the presidency, even more so unique.
And that automatically then includes the two other states that had subsequently also filed.
Correct. This would be binding upon them. Now, that doesn't stop another state from trying it again. But at this point, if let's just say another state tries to ban Donald Trump from its ballot, there would not need to be another race to the Supreme Court for that, because the Supreme Court has already made a very clear ruling on this. So it wouldn't really survive the federal district court level of a lawsuit.
What are you hearing from reaction about this, that it was unanimous? Obviously, there's a 6-3 conservative lead in the Supreme Court, but who saw 9-0?
Well, there are plenty of people who I think predicted 9-0 because this is something that was very clear-cut, I think, very black and white, so to speak, in terms of federalism, in terms of what the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment actually says, and of course whether or not whether or not Donald Trump was actually convicted of insurrection, which he was not even charged of it. Not even the federal cases with prosecutor Jack Smith is charged with insurrection. So I know we've had a couple of incidences with Donald Trump's court cases where he has been sort of ruled guilty for the purpose of a lawsuit so that the jury can consider him guilty, even though he's not convicted guilty. So, for instance, the E. Jean Carroll lawsuit, the judge told the jury, well, yeah, for the purposes of this lawsuit, he did assault her. So you're just determining damages. And, of course, people take that one step, oh, well, he was convicted by a judge. No, that doesn't work that way. Same thing for in New York with the tax fraud, or the supposed case that just wrapped up. The judge basically said, I'm going to say that you did commit the fraud. Now I'm just determining what your penalty will be. But fraud is not a civil tort. Fraud is a crime. But there was no charge of a crime.
Evan Brown with Fox News Radio in Miami. Thank you for your time.
You go.
What radio news? 7:12 back to traffic and weather. Here's Kevin Richards. Still have that freeway crash east side of Grand Rapids, Steve. Westbound 96 between the Beltline and Leonard Street, just past the Ford split. It's in the median. Responders on the left shoulder. West of the eastbound side, that responder is cleared. Like a tow truck to pull that car up out of the ditch. Byron Township, car fire, Clyde Park Avenue between 68th and 76th Street. Byron fire trucks there. It's probably out now. Grand Haven, Beacon Boulevard, US 31 and Taylor Avenue, 2-car crash. Next traffic in Coffee Traffic Center on News Radio, Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Rain drying up today with a high of about 50, now 42 at the Lakeshore 53, Grand Rapids.
Does your business need a reliable and trusted partner for network and information technology services? Look no further than Applied Innovation's IT experts. Applied Innovation offers fully managed network services, a program where you outsource all of your IT needs to Applied Innovation. Partnering with Applied Innovation provides you with a suite of IT services, including managed backup and recovery, vendor management, a 24/7 help desk, and managed security. step ahead of potential cyber attacks. Want peace of mind? Want a partner that truly cares about your business and your future? Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com. Applied Innovation. Fast, friendly, amazing.
You've heard about the thousands of patients finally getting relief from chronic joint pain thanks to QC Kinetics non-invasive treatments. And here's one who was determined to avoid surgery. Meet Vicky.
The orthopedic surgeon said, well, you're going to need knee replacement sooner rather than later. I kept hearing commercials about QC Kinetics and thought, well, I'm going to check them out first.
QC Kinetics has treated over 20,000 patients like Vicky around the country. People who were told they needed surgery. Natural, less invasive approach that uses regenerative treatments to help heal and restore painful joints with no downtime.
If QC Kinetics had not been what I expected, I would have gone through with the surgery, but I got so much relief, am now pretty much pain-free that I don't have to have the surgery.
Before going under the knife, you need to check out QC Kinetics. The consultation is free. Call today.
Call QC Kinetics, 616-315-0166. Locations in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Lansing, 616-315-0166. Wood Radio News Time now 7:15. Back to the newsroom. Tony Allen, what's coming up?
Grand Rapids police say that they're still looking for the person who fired a gun while running from officers over the weekend. Also, voters across the country heading to the polls today on this Super Tuesday. 3 members of Congress and a professional baseball legend hoping to advance in the California race to fill an open Senate seat there. Dry conditions and warm weather being blamed in part for a fast-moving grass fire that extended into an auto salvage yard in Etna Township. And a 20-year-old has been ordered to spend just over a year in federal prison after he admitted back in November to making a threat against a synagogue in East Lansing. Those stories and more coming up 7:30. We're ready.
A little later on in the show, Ben Nielsen of the Ultimate Sports Show will be in studio, and we will discuss some of the cool things going on as DeVos Place is transformed into a sportsman's paradise. I went by this morning as I'm rerouted on my way in, and all of DeVos Place's lights were on, and you could see into the huge grand hall, and it was empty. And that's crazy because it's huge.
Yeah.
But this weekend, the Ultimate Sports Show, let's give away a pair of tickets right now to caller 13, 616-77.